Good morning, dear ones. You know, I sat up in a chair last night meditating, and I had this great dissertation to talk to you about. But it was connecting to what Lion Man said, basically, in terms of seeing all things as one, you know. And we've talked a lot about that spiritually. How creation, I was thinking about this because, you know, my dad was a car dealer, Chrysler dealer. And so I think about it as a big car lot. Now down here we have a car dealer that has like 5 different lines of cars, or 6 or something. And so it's just massive cars everywhere. And when you think about it, that's creation. You know, nothing is real until you put your attention on it. As soon as you put your attention as soul on something, it'll activate the mind. And then when the mind's activated, as it moves down toward this level, you start seeing duality happen, images, and then you start being able to identify with images. And then you have the emotional component, as we've talked about, the astral component. And that's the driving force of the attention, or of the image that you viewed. And then, of course, then you can bring it into a physical reality as well, even though it's already an emotional reality and it's a mental reality. A good example is you go down, you find you a nice car. Now, there could be hundreds of cars on a parking lot. And none of them are significant. And that's creation. There's unlimited amount of thought patterns and forms that exist in the mental worlds. And they're really non-existent to you until you put your attention on it. And as soon as you put your attention on it, you start putting light into it. You start bringing the image forward to your consciousness. And then, of course, the desire part of that is the driving force and the driving ability to create what you want, to bring it into reality or focus for you. And so it's already a reality then in the emotional world. So if you find a nice car you want, and this is how they sell cars. First, you look at the car that suits your image and beauty and comfort and all that, and then the emotions start building up. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it, man. Start building up, and then you start making claims. And then you take the activity to making that happen. You know, and that's what creation is. Whether one views it bad or good, it's here nor there, because bad or good is only a perception. If you realize that everything in your life is simply a matter of perception, the ideas, the thought forms behind things, the desires behind all that you create, all these things are simply just illusionary perceptions, or perceptions you have in the moment. They change all the time. Soon as you get tired of one car or one ring or jewel, you set it aside and put your attention on another. However, the thought forms still exist, and you can still go back and revisit them. And this is in the causal world, or the Akashic records. You hear a lot about that, where you can go back and view all the things that you've stored away in that not even subconscious, into the causal, or the part of the mind that is like the library. And so then you can change and put your light on something else. Well, that same concept is how you light up God for yourself, more in the sense of who you are and who it is. And so by withdrawing your attention off of the drama, off of the worlds of matter, energy, space, and time, so to speak, and you live in that present moment, then nothing is bad or good. Nothing exists other than that moment, and that's pure consciousness. And in that is ecstasy, joy, bliss, love. All the things that exist are in that moment. You know, they say that all things exist in the present moment. Time is, again, only a matter of perception. So spiritually, one has to get to that point when they're suffering or in pain. When they have physical problems, you must separate yourself from it so you can have some joy in your life while you fix it. Learning to fix things now. You're lighting up. You guys are putting the light on, the tools, and the process it takes to get well. So this is all involved in spirituality and growth. In the end, the only thing that matters is you and consciousness, because that's all that truly exists. those things within creation are constantly ever changing. Nothing is static in creation. Everything is always in flux. And so your desires are always changing. Your belief systems are always changing. There's nothing real in creation. That's why when you get stuck on some of these concepts and belief systems, they limit your perception of the all. And so it was like I said, the movie of Michael. You know, you can go down and you can impact creation. You can impact. And in actuality, one must realize that, and I've got the idea of like suing the FDA or suing the IRS. In actuality, one can have fun doing those things, and it actually is a process of development, believe it or not. This is all a process of not even development, actually, is an awakening process, because there's nothing to develop to. They used to talk about spiritual development. Actually, it's an awakening process and a releasing process. You have to take your attention off the things of your desires and of your wants and of your thoughts if you want to free yourself from creation. If you want to play, the playground is ongoing and forever, actually, in the sense of thinking. But the reality is, who's the player here? Who's the observer? Who's the player in the field of dreams? And of course, that's you. All right, I'm going to try to take off on a lot of these things. I'm real backed up here, so I super apologize for this. But you have some good questions, some important cases here, and let's work these out here. We'll light up the field of dreams here and look at some of these cases of what some of these souls have to work themselves through here. So I'll start with Kelly here. Sweetheart, everything you're saying here is just, whenever you have a headache, you put your fingers in here and your headache will go way up. That's just common stuff. Pain is acidosis, Kelly. Always pain is acidosis. Of course, you talked about the cerebellum. You're learning why you're dizzy, why your blood pressure drops when you stand too long. You're lucky, because I have people that stand within a minute and drop down to 60 over 50, 60 over 45. I have some serious cases here that have similar issues. Well, because your head is like everybody else's head. There's a bunch of cells, and each part of your brain is like everybody else's part of their brain. And everybody has a lymph system in that body, and every cell produces acids. So that's what all this is about, sweetheart. And you just have to really get after this. If you want real pain, try trigeminal neuralgia. That's a pain that is unreal. And we got a lot of those cases too. And it's a steady pain that's unreal. So, I mean, there's all levels of pain here. The best way to get out of pain is move that to lymph. And of course, here's your big clue, T1 mucus cysts. I mean, there's your big clue that your lymph system's backed up. But what else could this be? Nothing? There is nothing else. So you can, I was going to say, use some 3-lung tea. It's cheap. Chew on some horseradish root. Candle your ears. I mean, you want to expectorate from the head. And if you're blocked down below, you've got to keep working on your colon and your kidneys. And then use ear candles, maybe 3 or 4 per ear, just to give some relief of that. Because once you back down that glaucomic pressure, that lymphatic pressure, we're talking about glaucoma. What's glaucoma? Pressure, right? And what's pressure from? This isn't blood pressure. This is lymph pressure. Worst kind of pressure, to tell you the truth. Lymph pressure. And this lymph pressure isn't fun, because it can get extremely painful, and you can feel like your head is about to explode. Got plenty of those cases too. Not fun either. One guy was just ready to put the gun up to the head. He couldn't take it anymore. Very serious cases here. And we're in a very serious issue when it comes to the lymph system in people. And you guys are one of the few that get it. So that's why I love you all. And I love your comments. Keep them going. It pumps me up, and I really appreciate it. Going back to TMJ, going back to this whole face thing here, Kelly. You're not moving your lymph, pure and simple. There's nothing mysterious. These aren't a bunch of different things and the world is falling down on you. This is your lymph system letting you know you're in trouble. But no one helped you with that, and that's a sad cry, especially the natural field. For the natural field not to help you with this is kind of disgusting, and you know, all I can say is I'm sorry that you had to go that way. Yahweh bless. Bless, yes, Lewis. Good man. Good man. Thank you for the comments, my friend. Yep. Good man. Appreciate that. This is about female issues. This is about Rhea. And, you know, any type of pain and inflammation in the female areas, same in the male areas. A lot of vaginal pains all around the female area there, around the male, gonads, a lot of problems all through the body. But anywhere you see that, where you see inflammation, you see severe itching, you see, for females, you see vaginal infections, atypical cells. What's going on here? What could that be? All those body parts are nothing but cells with two major fluids. So it gives you a clue that you're right back to your lymph system again, and you're right back to your kidneys and adrenals. And you younger women are going to see a lot more problems than the older women, unfortunately. A lot of atypical cells out there. Remember the heal all T to douche? I would do that in all types of vulva or all types of inflammation in the female areas there. Get that heal all T and douche. Systemically, you want to go after a kill, especially if you have a lot of fungal problems. Use the Parasite M or a parasitic formula. It doesn't matter. The Heal All T I made to douche to clean that area. It'll convert atypical cells in a week or two easy. Had tons of cases to show you that. But really start cleaning your lymph system. This is the real key here to this issue there. So really work on that, and that'll help. Topically, you could put an ointment down there. We do have a Heal All cream like. But truly, this is a systemic problem, and true remedy is going to happen when you move your lymph more and you get your kidneys filtering more. So go after that in that way, no matter what area of the body part you're talking about. This is part 2 of the email. This is Marilyn. This is vitiligo, alopecia, IBS, acne, cellulite, spider veins, and lots more. She said, I forgot I have mild scoliosis and terrible itching of the vaginal area. Again, you know, just a real lot of fungus problems here. But we're all loaded with this. This is no shameful nothing. This is we're all loaded with this stuff, and we really have to get into our bodies. We're all one here, and we all have problems. So don't be ashamed of anything. I have women come in here that they've gotten herpes. Don't be ashamed of this. You know, we live in a society that doesn't understand anything. And of course, if you have to point your finger anywhere to herpes, you got to point it to the allopathic community, because we have a lot of mutation of viruses, especially from vaccinations. Oh, but let's keep giving our kids these vaccinations. So the herpes virus, I think, was a smallpox thing, but irregardless, you know, these are virals. You detox them out of the body. Again, culturing mediums. But here, the scoliosis, of course, you know, you really want to check your parathyroid gland. But whenever, you got to keep in mind that even your muscles are nothing but cells. And of course, your muscles is where you really get an indication of your lymph system, because you get stiff and sore and hard. Well, that's going to have a pull on the spine, because you've got bilateral muscles on each side of the spine, and they're going, one side is going to pull over another, and it'll pull your spine out, especially if you weaken your structure with low calcium utilization, and then the body's going to be yanking calcium in an acidic medium there, and so you're going to see that weakening of structure, and then that structure is going to augment, or it's going to be pulled to one place or another. Vertebrae are going to compress. I mean, you're just going to see the changing of the structure. Now, with that said, you can rebuild this structure, and you can straighten up that scoliosis, which you want to, because that's not a fun thing if it gets real serious here. Rods and backs and stuff like that aren't a lot of fun. The itching vaginally, that, again, go back, I was just talking about this with another lady with vulvodynia, or whatever they call it.